All right. All right. What have you been struggling with specifically?
Um, I don't know if it's motivation or really. I think I've been trying so hard to improve at the game. I've kind of lost the fun a little bit.
Mm, mm. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I think that's always a trap whenever you're playing at your level because you've gotten to like the top 1% of things, right? So for you to squeeze more value out of it, you really do have to squeeze. Like you really have to really enjoy it. And so for you to like as you get higher and higher and higher, I think it's easier for a larger percentage of the population to just not want to do that. So what has been feeling kind of rough on the burnout side of things, really, for you?
Yeah, man, I have a schedule where I play every day that I have the free time and I do my whole warm-up routine and then I hop in the ranked and it's just so I think one of my problems is that I always solo queue, but it gets to be where I try to have the very, work on my own gameplay. Don't worry about the wins or losses. Don't worry about what my team's doing. Um, but unless it ends up going well, like when the session goes well, when the play session goes well, I notice the ways in which I'm playing better, and that feels gratifying. But if the session isn't going well, it's like my own gameplay regresses, and that makes me makes me second guess whether I have the ability to improve in the ways I want to, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. Now, give me an example of how that session might go. Let's say a good session. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems to usually be defined by whether or not I win my first one or two games. So say I win a couple games, I get the ball rolling. Then usually I'm locked in, I'm not stressed. I queue into the next game and I'm making good comms and I just I hit good shots and I make better decisions to where I don't feel like a liability even if my team isn't doing well that match. And I'm
Mm,
able to keep that perspective where
okay.
on the inverse it's like one frustration early in the session has a I have a habit of making it snowball, I guess. No matter how much patience I try to have. And then that just it's like it physically feels harder to move my mouse to aim, like it feels like I'm dragging if the session isn't going well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now it's interesting when I asked you like what made a session go well. You specifically said wins, right?
Hmm.
Is that more often the case that you feel like off of the win you're like more able to build momentum off of that, or is it even in a loss that you feel like you played well?
Yeah, actually, in a loss where I feel like I played well, it's not nearly as bad, but I feel like my stamina for playing the game is so much lower than it used to be, where if I don't get that positive reinforcement within the first couple games, I think I kind of get demotivated.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Man, maybe it's because I've staked too much on getting good at the game, and so I can't just appreciate it for what it is.
Right. Is anything outside of the game changed in terms of your schedule?
Uh, not not really, but this is a problem I've been having for a long time. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, has this been a problem when you say you've been probably been having for a long time? When? How long? When did it start becoming a problem?
uh, man, I think in a sense it's kind of been there since started trying to get really good at Overwatch 2, which is near when the game came out.
What rank were you at the time?
Um, man, I came back to Overwatch when Overwatch 2 came out, and I was master for a season or so. Then I got back into low GM. Then by season 5, I was high GM again.
So you got to high GM despite this, or was this not quite as bad and it's gotten worse since?
Yeah, I would say despite it, but it's also gotten a little worse.
Okay. Okay. Is it partly due to the rank reset, you think?
Yeah, the rank reset. I kind of let it demotivate me, but then I came to understand that I'm still basically in the exact same spot. We just have a different label on it now.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense. Okay. So you're talking like you have a problem with snowballing either positively or negatively. You have less, I wouldn't say necessarily stamina, but you're more fragile to a bad result or a bad situation. Is that sound somewhat accurate?
Yeah.
Now, what have you tried? Because certainly, like if this is important enough for you to be setting expectations on yourself, I'm sure that you've tried some things.
Yeah.
Maybe just the way that you're thinking about it, or what?
I mean, the amount of sticky notes I've left for myself that was inspired by like neuroscientific advice, and like I've tried if I'm having a hard time engaging, I've set myself the understanding that I can just pick one aspect to try to improve on instead of being worried about, the whole wins and losses. I'm trying to get into meditation better. I've got I've tried most of the things I could think of outside of the game. I got a warm-up routine. It's not a super rigorous warm-up routine though, to be fair.
Sure. Any luck? If any of these things help?
Temporarily. It's usually like it helps for a little bit and then I go back into the same old pattern of behavior.
Sure. So when it goes badly with Overwatch, like you talked about a good day, I think we talked a little bit about a day, but give it to me one more time. How does it usually go? Bad day, you lose your endurance. What happened?
Yeah. It feels like my goals are kind of just a pipe dream, and
Like, give me an example of one of your goals.
Hit GM1 in the new ranking system.
Why do you feel like it's a pipe dream?
Because my inconsistency that I experience around the Master 3 rank, it makes me feel like there's no way I could be consistent around the GM2 rank, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
And then it's like that belief or that perception gets into my nervous system, and then the whole body just starts to kind of give up, and it's like, oh well, we're just kind of wasting our time here, aren't we?
You're aiming for consistency as part of the goal, right? You described it like sometimes you play like you're smurfing, sometimes you're not, and you feel like once I get a better handle of my consistency, then in general I'll be able to play at like this level. But I don't deserve, like I'm struggling with consistency now. If I got into a GM2 lobby with this level of play at the floor, my goodness, how bad would I be? Is that kind of like the impression?
Yeah, just to the extent where it's like it feels like I could never keep it if I managed to get there.
Okay. So stop trying to keep it. I'm going to give you some advice. Stop trying to be consistent.
Okay.
Because you can't. It's impossible to be consistent. In fact, I'm dying today because I had a conversation with I think it was a diamond or plat player just yesterday, and he was talking about like how I wish I was more consistent like the higher ranked players. And I had to tell him that I have the consistency problem brought up significantly more by top 500 plus players in Overwatch, like global players and contenders players that I've worked with. Consistency was a much bigger concern. But you see what I'm saying, right? Like that's just how it goes. That's just part of human nature.
Nobody can get it.
Right. And the problem is not even just the consistency as well. Let me describe to you what consistency really is. Consistency is generally relatively small until you start to perceive and then try to control it. And then it exacerbates. If the analogy I always like to bring up is inconsistency with mechanics, right? Where mechanics is really a two-way street. It's not just you, it's the other person that has control of it as well. So if you miss a shot because somebody has a great strafe, you feel like your aim was bad. But if you hit a shot because their movement was bad, you feel like you hit a great shot, even if actually it wasn't that hard, they're just bad. But the problem is your perception is what snowballs you. Because if you're confident that, oh, I'm playing well mechanically, not realizing that the person you're playing versus is terrible at movement, then you're more likely to continue to hit shots. And the reason why that's the case is not because confidence is this magic pill that makes you play better. Confidence is a magic pill because it makes you think less and get less in your head about what you're doing and allows you to act faster. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this is not just about mechanics. This is every single aspect. You want to be thinking, but you don't want to be overthinking, right? There's a reason why they call it overthinking. You're thinking too much, and then that causes you to slow down, which then causes you to play worse. Let me give you an example. You take a flank as Reaper, okay? It's a good flank. Enemy Roadhog is stream sniping or has a sixth sense, or maybe you make one footstep noise, or maybe he's just on Adderall today, okay?
Yeah.
And he turns a corner and he just, there's no, how did he, what? And so what happens? Oh man, that was a bad flank, bro. Now we lose the first point. And you see what I'm saying, right? It snowballs.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of the situation is that it's total luck, total chance that happened in the first place. He might have 99% of the time, most people would forget that you're there and you'll pop off and then you're creating a good day. So what I want you to understand is that a large portion of what initially will feel like inconsistency is really not inconsistency at all. It's just your perception. And then what ends up happening is you try to fix that problem and you just make it worse. Because what you're trying to do is too complicated of a skill for you to be actively, cognitively controlling it at all times.
Yeah.
You know? It'd be like this. Let me give you a good analogy. You ever, do you remember, did you take driver's ed as a teenager?
Yeah, a little.
Did you have a good driver's ed instructor?
Yeah.
Like when you're driving? How would you describe a driver's ed instructor?
Honestly, pretty laid back.
Okay. I want you to just picture that in your brain. Now I want you to remember the first time that you drove with your parents.
Oh, man.
Yeah? Everyone's experience is like that, right? Everyone's good driver's ed instructor is weirdly all laid back. Like they've done like a lot of marijuana prior to the session, right? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because they don't stress out the driver too much.
That's it. Because what you driving is complicated enough as it is. You can't micromanage driving, right? You need to just let it happen, and when in an emergency, tap the brake. And then your parents get in there, and your parents, respectfully, are idiots. It's okay, mine were too. And so my parents to my parents, and so on, right? And what do they try to do? Slow down.
They try to
take the turns off. Use your blinker, right? And then what ends up happening? I have a distinct memory of. I remember when I was a teenager. I pulled over into a restaurant parking lot, and I got out of the driver's seat, and I said, "Dad, I'm not driving anymore. I'm done." I love my dad. I have a great relationship. My dad is amazing, but when it came to the backseat driving thing, I just could not do it. He drove me insane. You are doing that to yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing that to yourself because what's happening is that, like, let's say that you hit a pothole while you're driving. Is that your fault? No, it's just a pothole, right? But your passenger is freaking out. Wow! Every time you drive, dude, like, slow down. And then all of a sudden, now they're watching you. And they're critiquing your braking and your blinker usage and your lane usage and acceleration, and your speed, and you're getting too close, you're getting too far, and now we're on the right. And then now, how does that make you feel? How do you think you drive now? Terribly. Because you're overthinking everything, and you're irritated, and you're emotional, and so then it makes it snowball. So you need to stop trying to micromanage your play. Yeah. That's why when we practice things, when you practice something, how do you practice? What do you practice in general? Like just generally speaking.
General practice?
Yeah. Just one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Why? Because if you try to apply 3 or 4 skills at the same time, it just wouldn't work. So what you do is you go, hey, it would be, here's the equivalent, okay? Let's say that you have a backseat driver. Let's say that you were trying to improve your driving skills. A good backseat driver would be something like, hey, remember, try and stay right in the middle of your lane. Try and stay right in the middle of your lane. Okay. Every like 5-10 minutes. Remember, stay right in the middle of your lane. Try and, they wouldn't elaborate. They wouldn't critique you. They wouldn't say it more often when you're not doing it. They would just keep reminding you. That's it. Remember, stay right in the middle of the lane. Nice job. Nice job. Keep say right in the middle of your lane. Super simple. Nothing complicated. You are thinking a little bit, of course, but only a teeny bit. Only a teeny bit. And if you start to play poorly or you start to screw up the lane, do you think that they start yelling and start saying, yo, stay right in the middle of your lane? No. Why do they need to remind you? You're already aware that that's what you need to be doing. Why are you continuing to critique yourself?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Right? So when you go into a practice session, you're playing Reaper and you're working on your off angles and you take an off angle and it doesn't work. Don't go, work on your off angles. No, just be like, oh, okay, work on your off angles again. That's it.
Right.
You need to be a good backseat driver to yourself. And you need to stop critiquing yourself for inconsistency, which you don't really have any control over. Because A, it's either physiological, which means that you can't control it, right? Maybe you just wake up really tired. Like, what can you do about that? Or more likely, it's just total luck, total chance. And you actually aren't nearly as inconsistent as you think you are, but you just have a tendency to always make it worse because you like to point out random chance of a good shot or a bad flank or a good flank and treat that like that's going to be, this is going to be one of those days. No, it's not, you jackass. Get out of your own way, And I think that's what's making this game feel super unfun for you too. Because in the days where you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or you get just a tiny bit unlucky, you then start to abuse yourself and it just makes the entire process just feel miserable.
Story of my life.
Yeah. So here's what I'd encourage you to do. Get out of your own way, continue to think and practice one thing, but stop treating the inconsistency like it's something that you need to overcome. It's not. Stop trying to overcome it. Just play the game. Be simple with your approaches. And then if you get into a series of games, and you're really not having fun playing, and it's really a chore, take a break, take a walk for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever. Come back and try one more game. And if you're still having a miserable time, then stop. You're done. I don't care if it's your third game. You're done. Call it.
Okay. Stop
beating your head up against the wall. Push yourself to overcome this, not overcome the inconsistency, but overcome you being too hard on yourself. But don't. If it's not happening, okay, try again next time.
Gotcha. I think I can manage that.
Okay. You said you wanted to try live coaching. Is that still the case?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really have any
that's
good
perfect.
VODs.
Well, that's perfect because I'm going to be what you should be to yourself.
Okay.
All right. Let's jump in queue. How long are your queues nowadays?
Oh, not too long. And you usually do this just like normal competitive queue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As long as you're like reasonably warmed up, you don't even need to be fully warmed up. We should be good to go. Any other questions?
I don't think so. I think you kind of put to words a lot of what I've been wanting to do for myself, but I haven't really figured out how yet.
Sure. Now keep in mind it's gonna take some practice. Like you're gonna have a lot of trial and error, I guess I would say, with this, but that's okay. That's just part of the process.
Sure. Is the screen share coming through all right?
Looks great. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
You warmed up?
Okay. I will. Yeah. I played a little. I'll try to get a little more.
Wait, what Reaper skin is this? This looks familiar.
It's Nebula, but I got the gun skins, the hard light gun skins.
I love the the glow gun. Is super nice.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm just gonna turn the volume down a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
I got scammed by the music volume. I haven't been playing without volume for like weeks because I had so many DMCA stuff and the stupid bebop crap.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, it was just annoying. I just had to like re-download my Twitch VODs and cut out the audio, and then it was just a pain in the butt. So yeah. It was like the apocalypse for all the streamers. They're all like, wow, I'm just getting DMCA'd here and here and here. That's really fun.
You'd think a massive multi-billion-dollar company could like clear the DMCAs for their game collab for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'd think. I think they're doing something similar with the Venture thing as well. There was some DMCA with that as well, but that they can clear it, but I'm not really sure. Who the frick hacks health packs in a warm-up death match? Like, what kind of no-life garbage trash can? I hate Sommers that do this. They don't even use them. They just like sit them and just like hack for whatever reason.
They're practicing their right clicks.
Right.
It's mechanically challenging.
I think we need a little tea bag here.
I fixed it.
You're nicer than I am.
I try. Oh.
Nice. What do you think of the Dallas Fuel Championship skin? Did you see the like recolor or whatever they did?
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, it was like
where
it was
is
like it was,
that?
it was like 6 months ago. I have it. I'll have to show it to you later. But it definitely looks like a recolor of his skin that they did for something else. They tried to make it look like it was Overwatch
Oh,
League, so it's kind of it is what it is.
right.
All right, so what do you want to practice this game? Let's just practice something. What do you want to practice?
Okay, that's a good
By the way,
question.
I've coached your support, Amaterasu. I believe I've coached them.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I maybe my engagement timing, I often find myself struggling to know how to be an asset and not a liability
Yep,
when
yep.
the game is really close.
So let's make this really simple. All I want you to do is pre-push, check your team's positioning. Let's do that for the
Okay.
attack, and then maybe we'll do something different on the defense, but we'll keep it simple. Okay,
Okay,
so
sounds
so
good.
stage, check your team's positioning. That's the goal.
Okay.
And all I'm
I
gonna do is
think I can do that.
I'm gonna sound like a broken clock. That's all.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I'm gonna give you a representation of what you should be doing for yourself.
Okay.
That's generally how life coaching works. If you have any
Gotcha.
questions, let me know. But we're gonna keep it real simple.
Perfect. Sounds good. Do you recommend I try to calm? It might get a little
Nah,
hectic.
nah,
Okay.
just chill. Focus on what you need to do.
Cool.
Set up. Check your team's position.
Gotcha. We have something of a rush comp.
Yeah. Set up. Check your team's positioning.
Yep. Okay. No, Suzu?
Good. Check your team.
I think it's the most I've ever checked my team's position in my life.
Good. They're fighting, so that means you can go. As long as your team is fighting, you're good to go. That's all you're checking for.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I didn't get anybody.
Yeah. I think she just farmed hogged. I'm not sure. Okay. Team's engaged. You're good to go. Okay, I tried to bail her out. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Check your team's setup. Check your team's positioning. You're only doing that just to make sure that your timing's correct. That's all.
Gotcha. Oh. Oh.
That's unfortunate. It's okay. It's good. Good timing on that initial flank, though. It was really, really effective.
All right, thank you.
I think you guys win this fight still.
I think you're right.
Good. Good rip.
Damn.
That's fine. It's 0 for 0. You guys were down one anyway. It's worth a shot. You're doing a good job with the timing stuff. The timings looked really good.
Great.
Good.
Little bold from my horse.
Yeah. Oh, the Kitsune whole hog was murder.
Yeah. Guess we got him out.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Ooh.
That's okay. It's okay. Again, the timing is what we're really looking at for, and obviously there's nothing wrong with that timing, so it's good.
All right.
You'll
Sounds
cap.
good.
You'll cap. You'll cap. You'll cap.
Oh, I noticed. I'm remembering now. I have a very bad habit of obsessing about my stats, even though I know that's not
Well,
productive.
you're playing the wrong hero for it too.
Yeah, true.
Reaper is really, really like inconsistent with stats because a lot of your deaths here have been like first death, right? Which is like created space for your team and then you win the fight anyway. It's happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that. That doesn't give you stats, but you just force Suzu and blew out
Yeah.
high hand, right?
Yeah, great point.
Set up, timing. Poor Kiriko.
Oh,
He's still killable. Never mind, that cold. My goodness.
maybe we should have pulled back.
Let it rip. Good. Good. Again, like only 2 kills, but you just broke the choke. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. Set up, check your team's position, and go. Yep, let's do it. Good. Nice. Good. Check team positioning as quickly as you can. Good. Okay. Team's about to commit. Commit with them. Go. Okay. Easy.
Okay.
Nice job.
Wow.
Very simple. Very driver's ed-ish, right?
Yeah.
Very non-disruptive. Just let you play. What I'd like to do here is if we have some time, and I think we'll have time. When we're done with this game, I'd like to actually look at the game, and then we can review some of the things that you could have done better. And that's where backseat driving is appropriate. So once you have the time to sit and think things through, look at your footage, get some goals from this, just like a normal VOD review. But in the moment, you should never, ever do that. You judge yourself, how was my timing overall? Were there any moments there where you were significantly off your team's timing?
I don't remember one.
I don't remember one either. I think you did a really good job. You consistently check, and not just, oh, my timing was good. You did the habit you needed to do to make sure that your timing was good, which was check your team's positioning. That was good.
Right.
You keep practicing that until it becomes, second nature. And also, you notice that this isn't like a super satisfying game either. Doesn't matter though. It's still productive practice.
Yeah.
Still very productive practice. You've done a good job. Now, only thing I would say here is let's pivot our practice a little bit here. I want you to be looking for more short off angles if you can, kind of like what we talked about in our initial review. See how that goes. Don't worry as much about your timing here. Try and get the timing right, obviously, if you can, but like I want you to experiment more with off angles on this defense.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we talked about staying in our lane. Last one. Now we're going to work on your acceleration and brake control. Okay.
Right. Sounds good. Hit him with the shrug.
I don't. Stick with it. Find another angle here. Yep. Good. Dying cart. Good. So already you can start to think up ahead of time. Like right now, you're going to come back. You know where the fight's going to happen, right? So
Yes,
what angle?
yep.
What angle do you want to try here?
Huh.
Think about it.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. Reset up. Think about it. Where do you want to try? Treat it less like oh I have to execute on this, and more like I need to experiment with this.
Gotcha. I guess we can use railgun there. Okay.
Again, experiment. Where's my team? Where do I want to be?
Kind of like this one. Sigma.
Ajax.
Dear.
That was some maniacal laughter. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that kind of a jump scare. Okay, that's a reset.
Mm-hmm. Again, where's this fight gonna be? Where do you want to be?
Yeah. And she's in already. Oh.
Set up.
Hey, that TP didn't work out.
It's all part of the plan.
Yes. Oh!
Again, it's not going to show up in the stats, but that had a lot of potential. That had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Okay. That was almost 4K, 5K material.
True. Okay.
I think Soldier's pretty good here.
Good to see you.
This ends now. The Withic. Unstoppable. There's one.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That was a lot of that's two ultimates, and you were the sole victim of those ultimates. Oh no, these beats.
Ah.
All right.
Okay. I'm definitely appreciating the perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next fight.
Can you not beat when we're down 2 again, please? Thank you.
Nice. Okay. That's a bad setup.
Yeah. Because your team's in spawn, so
Yeah. Okay. We're all here.
okay. Get a trade here. That's it. One more. Nice. That was good. That's a huge kill right there. That's gonna allow you guys to recontest.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Good setup on that TP on the Ana. That was really close to a kill.
Yeah, thanks.
Set up again. Team's here. Let's go. Nice. Good. Suzu shift. Set up again. Wait for your... There you go. Let's do it. You okay?
Yeah.
Aw, close.
I should have
close.
shifted it. I knew she was gonna sleep.
That's okay.
Ooh.
Nice. It's big. Again, that's not gonna show. That's not gonna show up in the stats. You know, you forced a
Yeah,
lot of cooldowns. Set up. There it is. Look at you comboing the two things, setting up and checking your team's positioning.
Okay, don't click
Yeah.
ults here, guys.
We Kitsune Blossom. Kitsune Blossom. I'll try to force the sync cooldowns after you. Use rock. Use D. Let them in. Let them in. Let them in. Oh shit. Go.
Go. Let it go. Good now.
Nah.
Oh, that's okay. It did the job. Again, they got the cooldowns back, Sally, because they continued. But you're gonna be able to. You're gonna win this fight. A trade for a trade.
Yeah.
Set up. Don't get lazy. Huge javelin. Set up. Go now. Good. Nice. Yeah, let's go.
Ah.
That's okay.
Ooh.
Okay, still winnable here.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I'm gonna mute this guy in a second.
Shrug. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, that was at me.
Oh no.
Well,
Proof that all hit scan players brain damaged.
sure.
Does
It's
does
gearable.
Reaper count as hit scan is the question though.
It depends on if you're a game designer or an Overwatch player.
I think no. I think no.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, what do you want to practice this round? I'm gonna leave it up to you. Because you did pretty well with your
Yeah.
setups. We can talk more about them in the review, but I think it's fine. The timings were pretty
Gotcha.
good. What do you want to work on here? More timing, more setups, something else?
Hmm. I could say target priority.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. As I sometimes I never That doesn't make sense as a sentence. Sometimes I don't know who to target.
Sure. We'll talk about that in the review. So if you don't know what you're practicing, then just go back and practice something boring.
Just,
Yeah.
You can be here. I'll tell you when to use it, okay?
Oh God.
Smart surgeon player is going to help everybody out.
Okay. I'll work on short angles and team positioning still.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you think this is a good spot? By the way, I always
We'll
default
talk.
here.
We'll talk. Yeah, I think it's all right. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Oh, no sleep dart. That was horrible.
Okay, that's okay.
Bro, just stay in spawn. Just stay in spawn. Don't feed them ult charge.
Nice.
You don't have to kill. Just deny that angle. Just die card.
Good.
yeah, I think we can hold it here.
I think so too.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I used like 3 else.
Yeah.
I use nano too. We just went next fucking free.
Bro, Gabriel, you don't have ult. You haven't done anything all game. If you could just stay in spawn and wait for this game to be over, that would be awesome. You don't have to leave. Stay in spawn.
Yeah, I'll take that under advisement. Thanks.
No, I need you to take that shit to heart.
I want you to imagine who these people are. The guy sounds like a 16-year-old kid, so.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Good. There it is. Now she dies for that. Nice, dude. I take that under advisement.
That was a good
great.
one.
That's great. Take that under advisement. All right, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's good. All right, how did you do in your angles here?
Okay. I definitely got, I think, pressured too much. I got too much poke damage. Like especially against that Cassidy on first, I wasn't happy with how that turned out.
I have some feedback of how we're gonna make that feel a little better after this this map's done.
Okay.
But in the meantime, keep trying stuff. Keep trying stuff.
Cool.
Where you don't necessarily need to solve problems on the fly. You just need to be able to practice.
Right.
You just need to be able to practice.
Gotcha.
And if a flank feels bad, try and think about why. Try and try something different. And then ultimately just keep hammering your head at the wall over and over again.
Cool. I can manage that.
It made me look like a superhero. The reality was not as inspiring.
Oh wait, I know what to do.
What?
I think I have time.
Do it quick.
Check this shit out.
Oh, yes.
Fuck yeah. We got him. We fucking got him.
What do you say?
He said, is that for me?
That's great. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's the first time I ever got to use that.
Nice.
Oh, Mauga.
All right, we got to be creative. Set up.
What are you doing? You're so incredibly bad.
What the fuck? You just have to shoot the Malga, man. Just shoot Malga. You don't have to kill anything. Shoot Malga.
I fixed it.
Yeah, there you go. I would have liked to have said, I'll take that into consideration again, but that's all right.
Leave him wanting more. Okay, I don't even know why I walked over here. I hate this angle.
That's fine. That's fine. It's funny. Shooting the Malga seems to be
Yeah, kind of useless.
Again? All right, set up. Turn on Malga if you want to here.
Yeah.
Good. Just break. You should be able to break it pretty quick. Good.
I don't think I could have done better there. At least not in my current state. Okay, that was a throw.
That's okay. A bit of ego. You guys still have ults here. So just because you're in spawn room here doesn't mean you can't be thinking. So set up fast, think about what you want to be doing, because you'll have time to touch. Let's go. I like it. I like it. Like it. As long as you're on an off angle here. Good. Easy.
Oh my god.
You're welcome. You're welcome, fucking retard. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're fucking horrible. You're welcome.
Good game.
Classic. Classic.
Amaterasu with the endorsement by default.
Yeah. Okay, let's get the replay code here. Let's talk.
Yeah. Expected. Okay. I will stop screen sharing. Please share.
Thank you. Here's your problem. Your angles suck.
Okay.
Your angles suck. And the reason why they suck is for two reasons, okay? I'm actually going to stop sharing, and I'm going to instead screen share Paint to start, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start from the basics. Your angles suck for two reasons, all right? Number one, let's say your team is here, okay? And the enemy team is over here. Click on my Discord profile picture.
Oh. Okay, there we go, yeah.
Your angles are looking like this, or this, or this. There's a significant different gap between where you are and where the targets that you're wanting to shoot are, which is nullifying the value of the flank because they're so far away.
Mm.
You notice that a lot with the Cass, a lot with the Kiriko, and a lot with the Ana, right? A lot of times the
Yes.
tanks that you took just did not feel good. Oh, congrats, a flank, distraction, harassment, splitting attention, yes. But you would have actually many times been better just shooting the tank.
Okay.
The other thing was wrong with your flanks is that sometimes the enemy team would set up in weird ways. They would take angles too. They'd have their Ana back here, and they'd have their tank here, and they'd have this guy here and this guy here, and you deposit yourself right smack in between people like this, turning your back to somebody who could sleep dart you or shoot you or nade you or anything like that. Right? It wasn't just the Ana. Okay.
Yeah.
Do not sandwich yourself almost ever with Reaper. And do not take an angle that's going to force you to play Sniper Reaper almost ever. You got me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's that simple. So all we're going to do is we're going to grade your angles from that. So a lot of the stuff at the start here, frankly, you just weren't taking angles much at all.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of passive stuff, just kind of TPing on stuff and just kind of like existing with your team, pushing with your Orisa. What made this work? This teleport. Oh, I got the wrong settings on here. Give me a second. What made this Kiriko TP work?
I think it's the timing with my team distracting the front line.
How close are you to this target?
Oh yeah. Well, definitely pretty close to the Kiriko.
Are you being sandwiched at all?
Nope.
Okay. That's it.
Gotcha.
And a lot of this was just mostly like grouping with your team here. I think there were situations where you could have done more wrapping, more setting up, more pulling attention, playing to your effective range. We're going to kind of zoom through here. But this, for example, do you see why this is going to work?
Yeah, absolutely no sandwich. Very
Timing,
close range.
no sandwich, close range.
I should write that down.
I'm going to write it down for you when we're done here.
Cool.
Like, what's the solution to this position here? Where do you go?
Yeah. It looks like I could teleport onto that big wall and get a the yellow one. Or do you not think so?
Well, what yellow wall? I honestly don't see a yellow wall.
Oh.
Like over here?
Kind of,
over here?
Yeah.
This would be good. This would be good. Outside, short angle. As long as it's off of your team's timing. Yep, 100%. 100%. Okay, here's a good question for you. As Reaper, who do you shoot? Who's your target priority?
Right here.
No. Period.
Period.
It's a trick question.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like it's, for at least my play style, I'm always looking for a target of opportunity that has gotten themselves in a bad matchup with me.
Okay. Let me give you the real answer, okay? Because that's a fine answer, but it's not the real answer, okay?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You can kill tanks. Okay. That's what makes Reaper unique compared to a lot of the other DPS. So many of the other DPS really prefer not tank busting, right? But Reaper can tank bust. The only thing that matters is that you're on a short off angle. That's the only thing that matters.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. And so, but what prevents Reaper from being really, really strong is that he is way more comfortable shooting any target, but his positions are way more limited. For example, if you TP here, you're not very functional in this angle. You're not terrible, but this Kiriko will probably just snipe you out.
Yeah.
If you teleport here, this is okay, but like getting here is risky, right? You can't just teleport here either because okay, this is okay, maybe sort of, but maybe this is too far away, right? So this range limitation, like you saw this in a lot in our second or defense rather, where it was like, man, I was taking a lot of angles, but I got poked out every single time. And that's the problem. Yeah. The problem was not the target that you were going for. The problem was that the angle sucked.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that angles aren't de facto bad. Like this angle in itself isn't always bad. It's just bad with where the enemy team is right now.
Yeah.
So your number one step is where is the enemy team, short off angle, good timing.
Okay.
That's it. What ended up happening is because these weren't like obvious angles, you just would kind of chill. Like what you're doing right now, by the way, really good. Why?
Short angle. Well, let's ignore the Sojourn for a second. It's a short off angle.
Right. Short off angle and not. It's harder for them to sandwich you, right? Like at least in theory, it's like harder for them to sandwich you. And if you're paying really close attention, turning your attention and killing the Sojourn is also super, super simple from this position, right?
Yeah.
Like you even hear, like you were able to keep yourself alive and so on. In fact, the reason why this doesn't work, it wasn't a bad timed Blossom. It did create a lot of space, but can you guess why this works? Doesn't work.
Yeah, just a little too spread out.
It's a little sandwiched.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's the problem with Death Blossom is it's very effective in a sandwich, but you generally aren't very effective in a sandwich. It's like it's an iconoclast, really. It's like you want to do something that you normally don't want to do, which is put yourself in the middle of the enemy team. So it's just which is just very, very risky. Let's move the defense.
Yeah.
I want to add some variety of what we're looking at here. Oh, by the way, that's why third attack felt so good, because what were you consistently doing on third attack?
Consistently not getting sandwiched and playing on the off angle.
This angle right here, no sandwich, short off angle. Somebody was always here. That's it, right? That's why third attack felt so good. You didn't even need to be creative. You could just keep doing the same thing over and over again, but it kept working, right? So if they don't adjust their positioning, now why did this feel bad? Not bad now because it was annoying to do, but when you like actually, let's say, cashed out, why did this feel bad?
Eat the sandwich.
You sandwiched, and not only that, but how far away you in the cast? It's too far, right? It's too far.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the solution here? Because you didn't know this.
Yeah, I could have just taken a peek and then gone back after I saw the enemy positioning here.
You could. Also, if you were to choose which target to shoot, which one should hold your priority?
Out of these guys,
who would prevent you from getting sandwiched if you targeted?
Oh yeah, well the Kiriko.
The Kiriko, but she's too far away. But at least it wouldn't be a sandwich. What about who's the closest target?
That's definitely the Moira. I could try to force out.
So those are your target choices.
Yeah.
Instead, you go for the target that's sandwiched and far away.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And this is where you're least effective. This is also the highest risk, lowest reward. Going for the Moira, you're going to get sandwiched, but at least you'll force her fade, maybe get a kill. Going for the Kiriko, you're going to be far away, but at least you won't get sandwiched. They'll have to turn around to deal with you, and it's easier for you to deal with that. That's why these cycles felt so bad, is because you're constantly doing what I call reaching and sandwiching. Reaching and sandwiching.
Yeah, for sure.
This is reaching.
Yep.
As soon as you know he's here, he's not your problem. Go back and shoot tank. Sit right here. Shoot, bam. Shoot, bam. Shoot, bam. If they all commit, then creep, bam. Right? If you see that for even a pixel, it's like even if you just turn the corner, you shouldn't have shot. But as soon as you turn the corner, you see this, don't even bother to take the time to shoot. Don't even take that time. It's not worth your time.
Yep, true.
That's why this felt so good.
Yep.
Because this is not a sandwich, and you're very close. So if you're better mechanically, she's dead. In fact, she should have been dead. And she does die. You see that? So even though you're down 3 when you went for that play, it actually killed somebody because it was such a good flank.
Yep.
This is bad. Now, thankfully, they're dead, so this worked, but this would never work. This is too far away. If they were here at all, they're a million miles away. So what would be the best solution then?
Yeah, just
tough,
find
isn't
it closer. It is tough. I was thinking about maybe teleporting high and waiting for a good close flank.
Sure. What about just sitting here and shooting tank?
Yeah, that works too.
Remember, it doesn't matter who you shoot, as long as it's a short off angle. It could be a deep off angle. It could be a shallow off angle. But it's as long as it's an off angle, it's fine. You could sit here and shoot tank. Your team is here, or at least you don't always have to off angle like by yourself either. It could be like your team's here and like you just sitting here, popping here. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Reaper doesn't have tracer flexibility and mobility. So sometimes the flanks that you take are just going to be sitting there and shooting tank. That's okay. As long as it's a short off angle. You were not ready for your team to push forward, so then you lost your off angle. Well, let's actually wait for this fight, because this fight's very interesting. What do you think of this plank here?
Yeah, it's a shame that the Cassidy's underneath there with free shots on the back of my head. But I like the close range. I generally like the angle. But there's a Cassidy waiting to sandwich me.
But is that stupid of you, or is it just a little bit unlucky?
Yeah, it's mostly unlucky.
Mostly unlucky, and you just reacted slow. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. You had plenty of time to rate this. But yeah, you forced Deepy, you forced Suzu, you almost got the kill. then you should have been able to easily wraith out and maybe go again. I don't really know if that was winnable or not, but yeah, okay. What's the problem with this flank? I mean, obviously your risk just ends here, but like if you're here and they're here, I mean, what do you expect to be able to do from here?
Yeah, it's super long. They weren't going to be that far.
No angle.
No,
I know Kitsune Death Blossom, but this is where your Death Blossom is going to work here.
Oh, yep.
Sandwiched, and you lost your angle, kind of, sort of, right?
Yep. Yeah, that top left would have worked better.
You ready for something spicy here?
Sure.
You don't need to take this teleporter angle. Shoot tank.
Okay.
Why?
I don't expose myself, I don't get forced out, and I can just
Sure.
generate pressure on the tank.
Is this a short off angle?
Yeah, it's because it's short, yeah.
That's it. Okay. Your team, at least one member of your team is here. You're here. That's great. Where else could you go instead on a retake if you'd like to?
Ooh, I hadn't thought about it, but I could teleport to that same wall we were talking about
It's
earlier.
a little bit awkward with depending on how they're positioned, but it's an option. So what's up happening is you go for these very exposed, deep backline, telegraphed, teleported flanks,
Yeah.
and then either die or get forced out instantly. And that's pretty much how you approach flanking as a whole, and that's why you're struggling.
Gotcha.
It's basically like an awareness check on the enemy backline. Like even here, here's the funny thing here. I don't mind what you did here. It was a fine flank. But again, it's one of those situations here where you could just sit here and shoot here, or you could sit here and shoot here, or you could teleport here and look for an angle this way if you'd like to. This is fine here too. Because it's like, oh, the squishy target. Maybe I can one-shot, but like it wasn't even necessary to do that.
There's always the risk of getting slept and then just headshot.
You got it. Who should you shoot here?
Probably the tank.
Yeah, just shoot who's close. I mean, if they're both here, I'm going to choose Squishy instead. But what do you think of this overall flank as a whole?
Honestly, I think I'm playing for Blossom here, and I'm hoping that the Squishies walk like right into that middle area, and I get like a 4K.
Sure, I got you.
Then I see it's not going to happen. I got cooldowns, I leave.
Yep.
Now I'm really looking for the Death Blossom.
Don't sandwich.
Pressure.
Too far
Major
from cover.
overextension.
Too
Yep.
far from cover, right? Just shoot, then jiggle back, shoot, shoot, wraith out, shoot tank, shoot tank, shoot tank, shoot. By the way, when you wraith out as well, you can hold an off angle and shoot the tank.
Yeah, good point.
Like this, because look at where your Orisa is, right? Look at what your Lucio is, and look at where you could be shooting, right?
Yep.
And then you get your
Free
wraith
pressure.
back, and you go for a more aggressive angle.
Yeah.
I mean, this was fine, but even this was like a little risky. That you got a little lucky that they rotated into you, right? So your job as Reaper is like really kind of anticipating and reading the enemy team, and then finding angles that they're going to rotate into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Telegraphed.
Yeah, I mean, to be honestly, this is like you're getting bullied by your team at this point. You're like, oh, I'm going to try and do this. Here's another situation, by the way, with who you should be shooting now. You see all that you need here. You got it?
Yeah,
What
just
should
leave.
we-
Yep.
Just shoot the tank.
Shoot the tank.
Just shoot the tank. This is crippling for him to deal with here.
Yes.
Then Cassidy has to push into you, which frankly is risky because your character always has that chance of just blam.
Yep.
So he sandwiches you, you get out, shoot tank, mark him, be careful. Overextension. Because again, you're pushing yourself into situations and locations where more than one person can see you and more than one person can see you at range. You got me?
Yes.
Like it sounds so dumb, but you're not playing a shotgun character the way you're playing right now. And then again here, right? You want that flank, but the flank that you take, the way that you take it, as soon as you see this here, okay.
Yeah, I should have just given up.
Bye. Go back here, because if she's playing that far back, she's not in a position to take an angle over here, which then means that you can sit here and abuse the Sigma. They walk forward, then that opens up this angle this way. They can't do everything to stop you. They're going to open up an angle somewhere. You just have to be smart enough to find where that angle is.
Gotcha.
Again, effective because no sandwich. This is where
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't like your target choice here, because this sandwiched you here. I know this fight was lost,
Yep.
but go for her first. You have to. Otherwise,
True.
this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Right? So you have
Yep.
to go for her first. And I want to say it might have been maybe not this fight, but the fight after where you had a really nice angle. I think your attack was really clean.
Good.
Yeah. Let's go to your attack, because I think your attack was really good in how you approach things. Okay, so how do you solve this problem here? Where's your short off angle here? I'm not going to even show you the map. Do you see it? Like, just pretend it's a blackboard.
Yeah, well... Oh, I can teleport under and get a short off angle on the tank.
You got it. You got it. No long range poke angles, no sandwich, abuse them. You got it.
Okay, yep. I never go there.
Well, it's not just that spot. It's the environment where people are positioned. Right?
Yeah, it's just one example of a blind spot of my positioning.
Exactly. Now, I know we all know what's going to happen here. Now, why is this not going to work? First off, you're down one, which is like whatever, right? Why is this not going to work?
Honestly, a sleep cooldown mostly, but it's
just
hard
cover.
for me to get back out.
It's just cover, right? It's very easy for them to see, right? Exactly. Like, it's a short sight line. It's on it, not a sandwich, but it's just there's no cover. There's no way that you can stay here. There's no way that you can pressure. It's just a really risky play. Again, one of those situations where, like, is there a better solution right now?
I kind of need to wait for an opportunity, I think.
I agree. I think there isn't really a good angle for you right here, right? There just isn't. Like, you could sit here and shoot Malga like they were saying, but like that's kind of like a short-term thing. But yeah, there isn't really a great long-term solution here. So maybe the best play is just to wait for something to happen and then look for that, then go for your aggressive TP. Or maybe even do something like this, like TP here, shoot, tickle, shoot, use the mini, shoot, tickle, harass, shoot, wrap. Just basically just be like a nuisance for as long as you can and see if that creates a window for your team to push.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny here is as the harder they flamed you, the better you played.
That's a good point.
Which is, I think it's more of an accident, but it's a good reminder that you, even when things are like, really crappy, like you played really clean from here on out. Like your positioning was really quite good. This TP perfect. You're capitalizing off of a push, and now nobody knows where you are because they're all focused on you. So here, like that's fight winning. That is not only fight winning, that's match winning. That's the only reason you won that map, is right here. It was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
No sandwich, short range, off of your team's push. Beautiful play.
Thank you.
Then you found a short off angle where you could do something in the meantime. You avoided peeking these guys at this range, right?
Yep.
I would have gone as far to avoid, like really just commit to one or commit to this guy. Like, again, you just need a short angle, right? You just don't want anything like mid-range. You get beat, big beat, go in there, finish that kill. They're out, so don't overchase. Retake your angle, no wasting time. You see Ana here. Now, this is where things are tricky. This is where I think that where's your best angle here? This one might shock you. Clickbait.
I mean, if I could stay on high ground and just shoot the tank in the back of the head.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think your best angle here is probably somewhere in here or TPing over to here.
Right. Just by the time I'd gone up, it was too late to get back down there.
Right, but that's something that you should anticipate, right? Because you know the Ana and Cassidy or Sojourn are far back. So you don't want to, you're not going to be able to reach around and get them from behind.
Yep.
So even if you were to go here and go, oh shoot, that's not going to work, you could even just drop off the side ground to the stairs
Just
and
play
shoot
on the
here.
stairwell.
Shoot here. You think what you think is you think your angles are always these 180 degree directly behind the enemy team angles, but they don't have to be.
Yeah. Any angle that isn't forward is
That being
an off
said,
angle.
you at least played this one well, where you're like, I'm not getting anything out of this. So I'm just going to bait some CDs and Wraith and go back to my team, right? So this is the correct move.
And then this next time I go up, I do bait the sleep dart before I go for my ult.
Good.
Miracle I survive here. I'm just listening for the sleep cooldown here.
Yeah. But this might be where, again, one of those situations where you're waiting for her to make a mistake. Don't do that. If you can't force her to make a mistake, find a different angle. Like here, it's the same thing, right? Like just go here and shoot. I promise you, you're gonna. They can't not deal with you here. You do so much damage here, right? So I think like I appreciate this, but as long as she's back here, she's gonna stop you from taking that angle.
Yeah.
So like this is like fine, but again, you're getting a sandwich. You should have probably died there.
I did get lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all coming back to you're forcing these deep 180 flanks when it just would have been fine to take a short angle on a tank or a squishy and just shoot. Short, off angle, don't sandwich. That's it.
It's another example of overthinking.
Yes. Yes. Now this one I thought you played really well. Sandwich? No. Outside? Yes. Short range? Yes. Brilliant. She's gone. She should have died. She's gone. Rails forced. Then you do this. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he supposed to hide?
Yeah, not really anywhere.
Okay. He can't even properly deal with you. You're too close. You do too much damage. This is great. You don't have your Wraith. You don't really know the status of the enemy backline, when and where you can TP. So guess what? You don't need to overthink it. Just shoot him. So he deals with you, and do you see how he rotates away? So he's rotated away. So now one angle is now open to you.
Yeah, I can TP on those boxes. Get an unsandwiched close angle.
Yeah, you see this? He can't even push with his nano.
Yeah.
So then what do? You see it?
Oh, yep.
Are you sandwiched? No. Are you close
Nope.
range? Yep.
Yep.
There it is. And that's,
And I
again,
end up-
that's a game-winning play right there. It's a game-winning play.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gotcha, man.
Reaper. What do you got to do? What do you got to do?
Unsandwiched, timed, close off angle.
Sandwich. Well-timed, close off angle. Don't be so persistent on stacking with tank or going for super, super deep 180 degree flanks that get you cleared instantly. Remember, target priority does not exist. Angle priority is all that matters. And that is partially true for every DPS, but is especially true for Reaper. Especially.
Yes.
Okay, any questions?
I don't think so. This was very enlightening.
Okay, I want you to keep me updated with how stuff goes. Obviously, like the first couple of things that we talked about were probably the most important things. But yeah, just keep me updated with how practice goes. And remember, your job is to not overthink, not to try and control your inconsistency, and to play for fun. If it stops being fun, stop playing.
Yep. Okay. Gotcha.
That's simple.